The United States is pledging more military support for Ukraine. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, in a visit to Kyiv, announced an additional $400 million in security assistance. Sullivan also repeated the administration's pledge to continue supporting Ukraine's war effort for as long as it takes, despite some bipartisan concerns about such an open-ended and expensive commitment. Meanwhile, a positive step for Ukraine's battered power infrastructure. The nuclear power plant in Zaporizhia is now reconnected to the power grid after Russian shelling knocked it offline. That power plant is the biggest in Europe, critical to not just Ukraine, but to Europe as well. It has lost power multiple times since the war began. Joining us now for more is CNN military analyst Colonel Cedric Leighton. Colonel, if we look at the Ukrainian battlefields, what we're most focused on right now is this area down here, Kherson, and there's some speculation that the Ukrainians may soon mount an offensive there. How significant would that be?
Alex, it's going to be hugely significant. In fact, let's zoom into this area right here. So this is the city of Kherson right here. And you'll note that it's right on the Dnipro River, which flows into the Black Sea. This is a major artery. Think of the Mississippi River in the U.S. It's basically the same kind of river. So what you're looking at here is if the Russians withdraw from the West Bank, which is actually to the north of the East Bank here, if they withdraw from this area, that means that all of this becomes Ukrainian territory potentially, and the Russians would have to withdraw into this area. If they do that, then what happens here is they will end up going into an area that will force defensive fighting in this region right here. Keep in mind, this is the Zaporizhia plant that you just talked about, the nuclear power plant. The city of Zaporizhia is still in Ukrainian hands. That's up here. But if the Ukrainians control this area, if they get to control this, that's going to be a major victory for the Ukrainians, no matter how you slice it.
And it's hard to tell on this map, but the city of Kherson is actually on the west side of the river, and that has been arguably one of the biggest successes that Russia's had in the war. It's the only provincial capital that they've been able to conquer so far.
That's right.
We should note this is just north of Crimea. From Crimea, the Russians have been launching these Iranian drones. They have incredible range. And now we have the Iranian foreign minister admitting that drones were sent to Russia before the war started. We have President Zelensky of Ukraine saying that Iran's actually downplaying the support that they have offered the Russians, and he also said that around 10 Iranian drones are being shot down per day. What kind of effect are these drones having? How much help are they giving the Russian forces?
They're giving the Russian forces an incredible amount of help, Alex. This is a video of the Shahed 136 drone, which is the most common drone that the Russians have been employing. They also received a lot of training from them. And if we go quickly back to the Ukraine map, they are basically having an effect in all of these areas, not only on the front lines in areas, especially right along here, but in cities like Kyiv and even in some cases to the west, not quite to Lviv, but they are having an effect in all of these areas, central Ukraine and of course the south central part of the country as well. And the other thing is, of course, to watch out for operations in this area, because that is Ukraine's main port, Odessa, and that is an area, of course, where all the grain flows out of Ukraine, and that becomes an important thing whether or not that continues.
Yeah, those drones have been extremely effective in striking terror really in the hearts of Ukrainians, because they have attacked so many areas.